Well, public consultation for an offshore wind zone 20 kilometres or more off the coast of Newcastle ran from February to April of 2023. And on the 12th of July last year, the Albanese Labor government officially declared the zone, paving the way for cleaner, cheaper energy into the grid and job security for those in the Hunter region. In Newcastle last week, I welcomed the Minister for Climate Change and Energy to announce the next stage of this orderly process that the Labor government is undertaking. We announced a feasibility licence to be granted to the Novocastrian Wind Farm, which is a joint project between a Norwegian company, Equinor, and Australia's OceanX. Environmental and other approval processes will follow, as they should, and there will be absolutely lots of time for community groups to be involved in consultations prior to any construction occurring. The opportunities for community to provide feedback along with First Nations people really kicks in now, as will the opinions of our organised labour movement and marine users in our region. They will all be very important matters for the Labor government to consider. But we are ensuring that there is a thorough and transparent process for the life of this project, because this is a government that cares deeply about getting this transition right. The Novocastrian Wind Project is expected to generate up to 2 gigawatts of wind energy, enough to power an estimated 1.2 million homes, or for those of us in Newcastle, we might call that enough to power 2 Tomago smelters. And you know what? When you come from a region with some heavy industry, members opposite might want to have a listen to this. When you come from a region that actually does do industry, that is well versed at both generating, storing and distributing energy in Australia, you might want to listen to what communities like ours have to say. Because it's the people of Newcastle, not like those that sort of want to bury their head in the sand here, that are going to lead the way in this nation as to how to do this transition, to do it well and to do it right. Because communities like mine have got a lot of skin in this game. Okay? We've got a lot at stake here. But we have the highly skilled workforce. We know how to both generate, store and distribute energy as needed. We've got a world-class university, an outstanding TAFE system to educate that next generation of people working in the new energy sectors. We've got the strong, consistent offshore winds that are obviously pretty important in any setting up of a wind farm. We've got the deep water port of Newcastle, which knows well the need to diversify its economic base. And we've got the proximity to the grid and all of the key critical infrastructure so that is required. So when people ask me, well, if this was so good, why isn't it in Sydney? I explain exactly the reasons why it's going to be in a region like Newcastle, because energy is what we do. And we've been doing it for generations and generations, and now we're going to keep doing it with a different form of energy. That's how it's going to work. And so the project is expected. I'll tell you why people in Newcastle are pretty excited, and members from opposite might want to have a listen to this. They're pretty keen about the 3,000 jobs that are going to be provided during the construction phase of offshore wind. And we're pretty damn excited about the 200 or 300 permanent jobs that will be there maintaining and supplying those offshore winds. My maritime workers in Newcastle very excited about having some jobs, because those opposite cut their jobs, decimated Australian shipping and gave them no hope of future. But not under the Albanese Labor government. We understand well the benefits of offshore wind and what it can bring to our communities. This is a brand new industry we are trying to stand up in Australia. So there are some genuine questions, but don't be fooled by the misinformation and the disinformation that is continuously spread by members opposite. Your newfound love of marine life fools no Novocastrians.